Hi, everybody.
Oh, wow.
Wow, I'm giddy.
What a night.
What a life we live, Casey.
To be living in these times.
I'm
or
Danielle
whatever
Schneider.
that Hamilton
Sorry,
quote was.
choking. I'm choking on my own body. Sorry.
Very excited.
Dying. Hi, guys.
Wow. Danielle, how are you?
I'm not well.
You're buzzing.
I'm buzzing. I'm sweating. I even put on my not natural deodorant tonight because I
You're
knew
wearing
I'd
a hot
need it.
pink sweater?
I know. I just pulled out all the stops. I put on makeup.
So did I. Guys, we have a guest that we're going to get to.
We will. But
Wow.
I can't even look in the eyes.
I know. I'm not even looking over
I
here.
can't even.
I'll tell you, Danielle, despite the fact that this last week my children had hand, foot, and mouth disease and lice, I'm feeling really good.
Wait.
Both. I neglected to tell people this because it's not something people want to hear.
You told me about the hand, foot, and mouth. The lice is a new angle.
That layered over it.
What?
How
did that happen?
Different texture. Who can say? You know, it just joined us, and it's been quite a week with these children.
Have you gotten it out of? Are you okay? Are we okay?
I'm okay. We're all under control. A man named Frank at Lousy Nitpickers in Burbank suited us up, got us going real nice.
As a person that lives in the valley, we are a place of like lice infestation.
Oh, I had when like the lice hit my house, I was like, get to the valley.
We're like, if you need to come to the valley, you're gonna get those lice off you.
100%.
We're a working class lice picking group in the valley.
Yeah, I mean, David did tell Frank, I think you should change your business to No More Mr. Lice Guy.
Wow, bold statement.
It's hard to tell someone who's run a business for 20 years to simply change their name. But
how did he take it? This Frank?
Not well. But Frank was wonderful. Lice be gone.
Okay.
Hand, foot, and mouth be gone. Whew. Kids were out of school for 10 days.
10 days.
Well, you don't take them back when they're riddled with bug and whatever the hand, foot, and mouth.
Did you get it?
No.
Thank God.
I didn't get either. They had sores on the insides of their mouths. And when the guy goes, oh, your little one is like, I can't even say this. My little one, Henry is so mellow.
Yeah.
So he didn't display one sign of anything going on. He was like, ooh, he's got 30 bugs crawling in his hair.
See, this house is infested. You invited us here.
Guys, we've been lice-free for over 7 days.
Okay.
So this wasn't just this last week. We've been, and I've had the kids check 3 times. Frank said we only needed to do once.
My daughter has that curly, thick hair. If lice come, they're never going.
Yeah. When I was little, I just always had it.
I had it one time as a teenager.
Yeah. All my memories of my mom are her like straddling me naked, like combing lice out of my hair and being like, God damn it.
To get it as an adult is tough.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's not. Yeah. Especially not from a child. Like when you get it from.
Yeah. You don't want that.
You get it on a date. That's tough.
Danielle. So all that aside, that
I know.
unpleasantness.
Wow. It's hard to talk about that and then introduce this guy.
Well, I'm just glad you're not giving us any anecdotes about what's going on with your.
No, I will. Casey, don't you dare.
Okay, he doesn't know. He doesn't
need to know that.
Okay.
Please, and no one on this podcast tell him, don't tag him.
Yes.
He doesn't need to know
about
my
Danielle's
dirty
condition downstairs. Okay, and her
Casey,
her trimming habits. No
late.
habits.
It's too late. You've done it.
No habits whatsoever.
Lord,
love to gain habits there.
I thought of you when in the shower this week, though.
Did you do anything about it?
I didn't do it, but I thought about it. Because do you remember when we went to the spa?
Grab a shear.
Casey, when we went to the spa, Casey took a long time in the shower and she's like, sorry, I needed to get stuff done down there. And then she looked at me and she's like, you might want to think about that.
Well, I held up a pair of...
And I sure did think about it.
You thought long and hard.
I thought long and hard.
Danielle was out of that shower in 30 seconds.
Didn't have much to do.
Now, speaking of didn't have much to do, I saw A Star is Born this weekend. Okay, guys, this might be on the level of Hamilton, which I didn't care for. I liked it and I thought Lady Gaga was amazing, but I just want to say one thing, and I'm curious if everybody felt this way. Have I seen the originals? No. But I can't imagine that the originals starring Judy Garland and Barbra Streisand weren't focused on them. Are they not the star who was born?
They are the star who is born.
The star who was born in this was Bradley Cooper. And it was kind of like when Ben Affleck shot Argo and it was just like shots of him doing pull-ups.
Yeah.
Like over and over. Mm-hmm. This is shot through Bradley Cooper's lens. Like when Lady Gaga's like singing La Vie en Rose and you're supposed to be like, a star is born. We're watching Bradley watch her for 20 minutes. Like that camera gets to her and it's right off her. He's like, that's enough. And I'm not trying to be, there's just something so wild about it. It was like this character kind of like mansplaining to her like I know this sounds, there's
was
something off about it, even though it's really, really good, if that makes sense.
I mean, I haven't seen it. I will be seeing it.
Sure.
But I believe, I mean, it's his passion project. So I believe.
Which is fine.
I'm not
I
saying
don't
that's
think
right.
he's conscious of this, but it is comical to see how he films this movie through his like lens to a degree of such magnitude.
Is he perhaps the star that's born in this?
He's definitely the star who's born, and he's great in it.
See, my problem, and again, have not seen the movie, but I'm
Sure.
happy to have opinions on it, which is I don't like when these sort of young people that we knew to be sort of just like Hollywood kids, you know, like frat boys and like Jeff Bridges and Bradley Cooper, who we know to kind of be nasally, like whatever, little frat boys. And then suddenly they turn 40 and they're grizzled cowboys. I just can't get behind the falseness of that. And that's what Bradley's giving me from just the commercials.
Yeah.
I can't hold back anymore. This is Andrew Rannells.
Andrew Rannells.
Well, from what you
I felt we were
I
missing
couldn't-
you.
What I have not seen the movie.
Yeah, none of
But
us in the room
I'm
have.
curious if he did want to remake this as his like passion project. Did he want to be Judy Garland and or Barbara Streisand? Because like it seems like a misplaced. Maybe write a different story then.
That's what I'm saying. I would love to see his character
Yeah.
as the lead of something, but just based on title alone and what the story is, it would be like
That's
if
so
every
strange.
character I play in movies, which is like a friend that's like, "Girl, you need to get out there." It was like when it was being filmed, like I was the lead.
And
It would make
I would want to watch that.
I know who I am in movies. I'm like, Miss, it's your phone ringing.
right. It would be like if someone actually
Like
made
Casey?
Danielle a lead character. It shouldn't be happening.
It shouldn't be. It would be crazy. I should be answering
Casey.
the phone.
Yes.
I should be answering the phone saying, and then I won't be cut out because I'm part of the plot. Like you need me. Yes. I won't say anything funny, but I'm part of the plot.
But we need you to advance things.
Yeah.
Also, I was holding Henry the other day. Do I have hand, foot, and mouth and lace?
Okay.
What the fuck?
10
Bury
days,
the lead.
10 days clean. 10 days clean.
10 days sober.
He gets a chip.
Like Bradley Cooper's character, we are 10 days clean and sober.
Okay,
I promise
okay.
you, he's been checked 3 times.
Has
I was
David
just, it's
been
just
checked?
odd that like
The
I was
hand, foot,
just
and mouth.
holding
The
him.
hand, foot, and mouth has been clear for a long time, over 2 weeks. And that
You look
you're
panicked.
I know my eyes have gone big. I promise
What are
everyone's
the
clear.
symptoms? Hand,
Bugs
foot,
in
and
your
mouth.
hair.
Just
No,
you
not
would
lice.
have bumps like all over you in a fever.
And in your mouth.
Is that what hand, foot, and mouth is? You get bumps.
You have bumps in your mouth, and you'd have a
poor
big
little baby.
fever.
yeah.
By the way, the
I
sweetest. You
promised
didn't
I
witness
kept him
it, but he
inside.
came to work and he just put his arms out and I took him. Yeah, it was very
did.
sweet. Yeah,
He's a little doll. He's so happy
He
to not
really
have
is.
those bugs in his head.
he was very friendly.
He is.
Yeah.
Can we
I
talk about our
promise he's clear.
Can we talk about
No,
our guest
I'm
today?
just-
Guys, our guest, Andrew Rannells, is here now.
Hi.
Some of you may...
Sorry, I jumped in.
No,
had to.
we need you.
I
here.
just was
Danielle, actually, I should tell you what my manager, Christy Smith,
our manager.
she said the other day, which was, she's like, you guys started off in the reality sector, which was great.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah.
like putting anyone down in your industry. She's like, you're veering. She's like,
Christy.
no, and she didn't mean it badly at all. I was saying, I know, like, are we going to have a job?
Are we going to have a job?
Yeah, I want to reiterate, I liked Bradley Cooper. I liked The Stars Born, and I forgot I auditioned for it.
You did?
Yeah.
To be who?
Well, it wasn't a large role. It was when a woman just opens a car for Lady Gaga and says, right this way.
Who got it?
A gal I wasn't familiar with her work, but she was excellent.
At right this way?
Yeah, like Lady Gaga's getting out of a car to go see Bradley Cooper perform. And she carries
Like
her
a
through like a big
publicist?
tunnel, kind of more like a backstage person.
Okay.
Backstage helper.
Backstage helper. Great.
Hey, that's a
Hey,
great role
you know-
for me. That sounds like a
Yeah.
that feels like it has Danielle Schneider written
It was a
all
slap in the
over
face
it.
not to get it, I'll be
Well,
honest.
it should have been offer only. Let's
And you're like,
yeah.
God, should I go in for that? Oh, well, I will. I probably should
Yeah.
be offered it. And then you go in and they're like, no, thank you.
No, thank you. Yeah, that's a good feeling.
Yeah.
It's a really good feeling.
Andrew, welcome.
Thank you for having us.
Excited
me.
to have
Us.
you.
Thank you for having us.
Now, I know everyone's probably familiar with his work.
I don't know
He's
about
a
that.
Tony nominee for the Book of Mormon. He was in The New Normal. He was in Girls.
One of the stars of Girls, my star.
Yes.
You were.
You truly
you.
were.
You were so good on Girls.
Thank you.
That scene of you doing a basketball musical, was it White
my
Man?
God.
White Man Can't Jump the musical.
I would have watched that.
I mean, it's
Yeah.
probably going to happen.
Yeah. Watching
Someone's probably
you
writing
sing
it
and
right
dance
now.
with those basketballs.
And I was telling you that was ripped from my life because that was a story that I was auditioning for a musical called Lysistrata Jones. It was about a college basketball team. And that was my audition experience, was that I sang and I read and I sang and I read, and they were like, now we're going to dance. And that was sort of fun. And then they were like, and here's the basketballs.
Out come the basketballs.
Yeah.
That's when everyone in musical theater panics,
Yes.
like I did.
Was there
But-
anyone that
Yes.
knew? How?
People were sporty. People did things. They had all new tricks. I was, yeah. I mean, I still got
because
cast.
musicals veered into
Yeah,
that.
you got cast.
You did get cast?
I still got cast.
So there you go. But
there you
musicals
go.
veered into that weird area where it was like stomp, where it's like all of a sudden you have to be know how to like stomp.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Still
We can't
running,
be
by the way.
expected to stomp.
Still running.
When I was at NYU,
Isn't Bring In Denoise, Bring In Da Funk also?
No, that is not
That's
running.
closed, but Stomp
is still going.
but I remember when I was at NYU, there was different kind of theater wings, and one of them was the experimental theater wing, and everyone from there was like, I got an audition for Stomp.
Oh my
Like, that was,
God.
like the big thing
Yeah.
to get into.
Stomp and Blue Man Group are still
Still going.
right there by NYU.
Stomp is great.
Stomp, I'd never seen. But I know it's like pick up a broom. I get it.
Yeah, it's like tapping on some cans. and-
Tappity tap tap,
Yeah.
sweep sweep.
I liked it.
I never
did.
saw it.
Did you?
I'm not gonna lie,
It's
I
very
never saw it.
fun. So that's A Star Is Born, guys. Now, Andrew, we have wanted you on the podcast so long that we have to confess something to you.
Oh,
Yeah.
God.
Which
sure
is
do.
that about a year ago, you and I played Incestuous Twins 2 years ago.
2 years ago.
What was
It was called Why Him.
Why Him? Yes. And a
Yeah.
few of our scenes were.
All of our scenes were cut.
No.
And we were barely in the film, but we did work on it for 2 weeks.
And we had a great time.
That's where we fell in love.
Yeah, we had a really great time. And then I was like all abuzz. I was telling Danielle,
Sure were.
who's a huge fan.
Yes.
Well, that's-
And then she's like, get him on the podcast. I'm like, I don't know him like that.
which is so silly because like I felt like we were best friends when I left.
I know, but you're someone that I know the truth about you, which is like you have a million best friends, which I respect.
I actually don't. I have like a small group of friends. My group of friends that I'm very close with are the same people that I was friends with when I was like 21.
That's so cute. Can we give a shout out to the friend I met of at
Rachel Glickman?
Yes,
Yes,
Rachel
she
Glickman.
is obsessed with your podcast.
Really? Hi,
Yes.
Rachel.
Well,
Rachel
Rachel's the
Glickman.
perfect best friend for Andrew. Just gorgeous, effortless, can talk to anyone, fun, not in the business.
Not
How
in the
do you guys
business.
know
She's
each
a
other?
Somali. She went to school with my friend Sean. She went to the New School.
Okay.
In New York, from Los Angeles, but went to college in New York. And I took her to like an Emmy party that could have been a real, like anybody else, it could have been a disaster, but she really,
She brought
rose
it.
to the occasion. Yeah. Yeah. She was special.
Gotta
And
love
you
a
guys
friend
really
like
hit it
that.
off.
I really hit it off with
Yeah,
her. And I was
she's
like, wow,
great.
to be in Andrew's stable, you know.
I know. Well, as
You
you said,
guys-
his bench is deep. Yeah.
You're hilarious.
Well, and so we didn't ask you. Then you
Hilarious.
and I get
You
cast.
didn't even ask.
No.
Well,
We held off.
so
I
we
had
get
to
cast
ask.
in the. Yes, that was our plan. Oh, it felt so good when it paid off.
Casey's like, let him come to
And I did. I was
Us.
like, why can't
And
I? And
then
you were like, oh, I went.
Yeah, I said, I don't know. You know, one day he just like, let me do your podcast. I was like, let me think. What do we have? And I was like, next
And
week.
then she texted me at the meeting and was like, we got him.
You bitch. I love it.
I'm so sorry, Andrew, but
No,
we
your
wanted to
plan
have you on
worked.
for so long. And in
Even
fact,
when you came into the writer's room at Black Monday, I knew exactly what my plan was. It was to not come in heavy, not come in hard.
we've been spending a lot of time
say-
holding back.
Yeah, like
My God.
it took all the energy in my body just to be like, hey, what's up? To play it cool.
You are
Speaking
hilarious.
of-
Well, you got me.
We got you.
We
well,
got
speaking
Annie.
of playing cool, I think we have a little song for you
Yeah.
Oh, all right.
that we would love to sing about this very topic, getting you here.
Yeah, knowing that you're, a Broadway star and Casey and I are not.
And look, we'll be honest, the beginning does not have any instrumentation.
No.
Okay.
At all.
We decided since we're such great singers, we don't need an accompaniment.
No, we don't need that.
And of course, we're holding a karaoke on our iPhone up to one of the mics.
So it's a professional production. I'm sure you know the likes of.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Take a listen. Andrew Rannells. How do we get to him? Andrew Rannells.
You've got access. He is on your husband's show, Casey. So now it's up to you for both of us.
He's here. I forced him to.
I've heard it said that people come onto our podcast for a reason, bringing something we must learn about Nene or Lena Dunham's puss, and we'll teach you about 90 Day Fiancé. Well, I don't care about our other guests. They all can go to hell today because we got you. Well, we've had Roxanne Gay on, and Andy Cohen came through. You did Book of Mormon, and you slept with Neil Patrick Harris too. Who can say if you will make our show better? But because you are here, we'll make you hear us sing.
You've worked with me. Do I have a shot on Broadway in this lifetime? And so I'll sing before we part. You live a life I've only dreamed that I could live. You're friends with John Hamm, and you had dinner with Patti LuPone. And now, whatever way our stories end, I know you have rewritten mine by putting a word in me with Broadway. Am I your Showtime Lena Dunham? Am I your Showtime Josh Gad? My husband's your Showtime Ryan Murphy. Can I have sex with you? Well, I can say that I've been changed for the better.
Because I knew you.
Because I knew you. We have been changed for good.
Well, just to clear the air, this was supposed to be dinner with Casey. Danielle, I didn't know you'd be here. But since you both make me feel sad inside, what the fuck? Let's all just be best friends.
It's like
I just came here to plug Black Monday. This is really weird.
I would leave
Showtime
my
in
kids and family if you just
Don't
fingered
forget.
me. Well, who can say that we've been changed for the better?
I don't believe I have been changed for the better.
Because I knew you.
Where is the bathroom? Because I knew you. I have been changed.
For good.
For good.
For good.
Do you still like us?
More than ever.
Wow. Wow, wow, wow.
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 We really did that.
We did, and we had to do a bunch of takes.
Well, that's a few takes.
Yeah,
that's
Just a few, just to hit the
That's
right
pretty
note.
seamless.
Yeah.
That's pretty seamless. And I do feel I have been changed for the better.
Have you?
I really have.
Andrew, were you
here
changed
we
by
are.
the better when we went to Busy Phillips' book party for her new book?
We did.
It'll Only Hurt a Little.
It only hurt a little.
Great book. It's
Yep.
so funny.
Yep.
It's really great. There's a lot of funny stories. Yes, I mentioned it. I don't want to make it about that, but that is a piece.
It's the only part of the book I've heard so far. Just FYI.
There's many parts of the book.
There's so many parts.
She gets into so many great stories, and it's a wonderful book. And Andrew and I were there, and again, I wanted to make a good impression, but I'm working with a nutritionist, Dr. Nancy, and she told me, basically don't eat or drink. And so
Don't eat her. She's a medical doctor.
Yeah. It's great nutrition.
Yeah.
No food or water.
she said, and I told her, I'm going out with a friend. I need to be able to have some drinks. She said, have some tequila. So I drank about 5 or 6 drinks.
Ooh.
I guess.
Yeah, I guess.
Maybe 4.
Felt like.
And then we had wine at dinner, which was like not a lot of food, but probably not things that.
A little bit of food.
Now, did you guys go to dinner separately, or that was part of the?
No, we went to dinner separately.
First, we closed down the book party.
I know. That was our first, I don't want to say mistake, but bold choice.
Busy was like, oh, I'll see you guys later.
Everyone was leaving and we were still just like,
Still
hey, what's
there.
up? Yeah.
Just hanging out.
Frankly. But it was fun.
So much fun.
Yeah.
I had a great time. I was talking to Lauren Graham about like all the restaurants
No.
shutting down in our neighborhood.
Lauren
Graham, I got
Graham.
Constance Zimmer's phone number.
That was big.
Guys, none of this has been mentioned until now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we decided
Let's go
we
to
got to
dinner.
go. Yeah.
We went to Little Dom's. We sat in the John Hamm booth.
Yes.
The John Hamm booth.
Natch.
Yes.
He has a booth.
How does he have a booth?
He just goes there a lot.
Wow.
Well, he does, guys. We have dinner. I drink more drinks.
We have some more wine.
I'm like, this night was.
I didn't even tell you what happened when you were in the bathroom.
Oh, God.
About your wine. So we ordered like one. Let's get one more wine.
Mm-hmm.
So they bring mine, but then they didn't bring yours. And then I saw it sitting on the bar, and I was like, "That's got to be your," because like no one else was there. So it's like, "That's your white wine that's just sitting there." And I walked over to the bar thinking I was being friendly, and the guy who was the bartender was like explaining his screenplay to someone, and then finally was like, "Yeah." And I was like, "That's my friend's wine that we ordered. I was just wondering if I could grab it." And he went, "I don't think that's your friend's wine." And I said, "No, I'm pretty positive that it is." And he was like, "No, it's not." So I was like, "Okay." So I went and sat back down. I saw the waitress come back. She got the glass of wine and she brought it to our table. And I said, "This has been sitting out. I need a new one." And she was like, "What?" I was like, "It's been sitting there for a long time and now it's warm. So I need a new one." So she took it and then she explained to the bartender, and the bartender looked at me, and he would have murdered me.
Yes.
But instead he just poured the fucking thing. I made sure he didn't spit in it or anything. And then they brought it back over. She's like, "Sorry about that." I was like, "That's cool."
Well, that's
But I'll tell John Hamm.
Yes. How dare they do that while we're sitting in the John Hamm booth?
How dare they?
Well, that glass of wine did put me over the edge, because then I proceeded to go home and I threw up no less than 12 times all night on the floor of the bathroom wailing. David was standing over me. I had to work the next day. He goes, "What has happened to you?" And I just was crying, throwing up everywhere. And I go, "I just wanted to make a new friend." I was lying there making pacts with God. I was like, I've poisoned myself. I'm cursing Dr. Nancy.
And then I texted you the next morning. You told me what happened, and I said, "Worth it."
Yeah. What else am I supposed to do?
I just feel like that you just hadn't been eating.
Yeah.
Because there's not that much alcohol.
Yeah, and I'm proud of that reason.
Yeah.
Because I hadn't been eating.
Terrible.
I'm starving
Terrible.
myself.
Should we take a little break and then
Yes.
get into our
We'll
shows?
get into reason
into
for the
it.
season.
Okay. Guys, we're back.
Hi.
Guys,
What's happening?
Andrew, what's your knowledge of these shows, garbage television?
I am a frequent visitor to the Real Housewives, but I've not really consistently watched one franchise for quite some time. I will just pop in and out. I'm always sort of surprised to see how their faces have changed and what the weight loss is, what is happening, and who's leaves and then comes back. Nene Leeks. It's fascinated by all of that.
Speaking of Nene Leeks, you
Yes.
had the pleasure
Yes.
of working with Miss
I did.
Lenithia
Starring
Leeks.
opposite Lenithia.
In the new normal, yeah.
Yeah. How was that experience?
You had a whole cast of characters there. You had Ryan Murphy, Ellen Barkin, Nene Leeks.
Justin Bartha
And- oof.
also. Yeah. It was a lot of personalities, as my therapist would say today. No, it was a lot of personalities. And Nene, this is what I will say about Nene. She was so hilarious that she had just done a couple episodes of Glee. She was very funny on Glee. She came in, we did the pilot. She was super funny in the pilot. And then I remember the first sort of red flag I noticed about her was when we were at the upfronts. And we were on the red carpet, and I was paired with Justin because he was, we were playing husbands. And then she was paired with Georgia King, who was playing the surrogate in this show. It's about this gay couple having a baby with a surrogate. And when asked to explain what the premise of the new normal was, Nene Leeks explained the show as it was about a woman named Rocky who worked for two gay people who wanted to have a baby.
Was Rocky a character name?
It was her name. Her character's name was Rocky. But that she was like, well, it's a show about me, and I work for these gay guys.
It sounds like A Star is Born.
Yeah, basically. And I was like, wait, what? What are you talking about?
Well, look, we all have to see our character, I guess, as the center.
Yeah, we all see ourselves through the character's eyes.
A woman named Rocky.
That's when I first sensed that maybe something was going to be amiss.
Okay, wow.
All right. Yes, I'm familiar with all of the players, although now I'm going to be honest, I tried to watch this week's episode of The Real Housewives of Orange County, but I feel like someone at Bravo needs to speak to Amazon Prime because I could not access it. It made it very difficult for me.
May I ask, are you trying to find every single show on Amazon Prime? Because you won't.
No, I know, but like I looked up like where can I watch The Real Housewives, and that was one option,
right?
Because I didn't want to subscribe to Bravo. No offense to Bravo, but I was like, I don't need to do a whole situation.
Did iTunes cross
you know
your
what I'm
mind?
saying? I know I tried that, and it was also like not
really.
Yeah.
Because I couldn't get 90 Day Fiance this week.
That was tough. It was 2 days late.
What's happening?
Yes, so I feel like maybe it was just late.
Yes.
Yeah. Was there a holiday? No.
Oh, there
Indigenous
was.
Peoples Day.
Oh, there was a holiday.
Yeah.
So maybe did that fuck things up somehow?
I don't know. Didn't get my mail.
Another reason to hate Christopher Columbus.
And yet another, or Christina Columbus, as Stephanie said to me.
What a yahoo.
I know.
What a yahoo.
Now, I feel bad, Andrew, because you have come to us at a time where we don't have a lot to watch. We're not giving you the best that Bravo's got, and that is...
Although it's still very entertaining.
Oh,
I know, but I'm at a crossroads, Danielle, and I hope you don't mind me sharing this thought out loud. I'm just at a crossroads, like, how can we cover this when there's nothing to cover? I'm like a journalist and there's no war.
I know. I mean...
You create a war.
I mean, we will, I guess.
Dog.
Wow,
wag the dog.
I'm just like, wow, do we need to
Create a reality show.
And go on it?
Andrew Rannells and Nene Leeks.
It's just us going to all of those towns trying to catch those women doing things, infiltrating their home circles.
Did Lenithia and Ellen Barkin get along? Just yes or no? I'm just curious.
Not particularly, no.
Yeah, that seems like
I think it was
tough.
two very different personalities.
Two very different women.
Two very different women.
Powerhouses.
Yeah, very different background. Yeah. Ellen was a serious actor, and Nene Leeks was, not an actor.
I saw Nene Leeks on television perform in Cirque du Soleil, and she did not know her lines. So she's got
Are there
a lot
lines
to
in
offer.
Cirque du Soleil?
No, remember when she was doing that thing and she didn't know the intro lines?
Yes.
She was playing like a madam for
Yes.
Yeah.
one of their, I don't know.
I just remember her like in a fashion fitting with William Ivy Long.
Oh, for Cinderella.
Yes, and I was like, here is this like guy that has like won Tony after Tony and like worked with the greats, and there was like he was dressing like a Real Housewife of Atlanta, and I was just like,
Although I dare say though, that's also exciting for people to dress Nene.
do you think so?
Could be.
I do. A few people. I would be excited.
Would you?
Yeah.
She came over and she was like, hey.
And you guys did all your scenes together.
We did a lot of our scenes together, yeah.
She worked for you.
She played my
And have you
assistant.
kept in touch?
We have not, weirdly. I'd be surprised if she knew who I was, quite frankly. If we saw each other on the street.
Wow.
She'd be like, I don't have $1. Like she might not initially react to me.
I don't have a dollar.
Excuse me, sir.
Oh my God.
Step away from the car, sir.
Danielle, should we talk about Dallas first?
Yes, since that's what we
Yes.
just came from.
Okay.
Okay. Dallas.
Now, Dallas, I think my favorite part of Dallas this week was just hearing Andrew's
Commentary.
His commentary was a joy to behold because he spoke from the heart.
I was happy to see a lot of the faces were different but the same, if you catch my drift.
Yes.
Yeah, it's mostly all the same people from the first season.
Yeah,
with the exception of that one dark-haired gal that the
Deandra.
Carney is. Deandra.
Yes,
She was
Deandra.
not on the first season I watched, I don't think.
Was
Or maybe
she not?
she was.
No, she was, but she was a bit of a different presence.
No, she was
okay.
on the second season. We only watched like 3
Oh,
episodes.
I watched the first one.
Oh, you
You're
did?
right, Andrew.
I don't know if she
It was a
was.
different woman, like a cowboy. She was with a musician.
Yes.
The one with the Keith Urban looking fellow.
wannabe.
Yeah.
And they tried to move back to Los Angeles, which is heartbreaking.
Heartbreaking.
Oh, just
He was like, look, I can't make it in Dallas. I guess I'm heading to
guess I'm
LA.
going
to
the
be
tar
another
pits.
Australian.
Guess I'm going to Runyon.
Oh, that poor girl. Yeah.
And then she showed up the second season as like a friend of. It's always hard when they're demoted to friend of, because they're always like pulling a Camille Grammer, showing up at a party like, hi guys, and the cameras sort of turn away, and it's
that's not good.
It's not.
No. But most of the faces were the same.
Now, Leanne the Carney, how do you feel about her?
Well, I feel like it's slightly off-brand. I felt like that whole show, what do you call it, the franchise, that city was a little tricky because like the wealth disparity was so crazy, and the fact that, you know, I thought it was supposed to all sort of be like a glamour and dynasty, and then like we should do the Real Housewives Omaha, because like where I'm from, because like it'd be a better cross section of people living their lives. I don't know. So I'm just dancing around the fact that like she lives in a ranch house with like shitty rent to own furniture. Like she doesn't own any appliances. Like it's just sad. And she's with that man and she looks like the female Gremlin, and it's just like all the wheels have come off and nothing has changed for her.
I know. She's slightly more calmed down. You hadn't, of course, heard that she had told Carrie's husband she'd heard he'd gotten his D sucked at the roundup. But she is pretty much the same.
Yeah. And what's the meditation bowl?
Mm-hmm. She has an anger issue. She cannot control her anger and has threatened
as witnessed by tonight's episode.
Yeah, but there's even been more. She has threatened to kill people, especially like the Bravo cameras will go dark, and then someone will have like a cell phone footage of her fucking losing her mind, like
threatening to kill people.
Like she literally said the line, "They're not knives, they're hands, but they work quite well."
Like she was gonna kill someone.
She's gone off the rails. Like she has a true anger management issue.
But this bowl, like I thought it was kind of like a funny thing she was doing in the testimonials, but people are referring to it genuinely. Like Stephanie was like, yeah, you know, I mean, I know she's on the bowl right now, but
it's a real technique to commerce.
And then she's like, the bowl can't help me now. I'm like, what is happening?
But is it a literal bowl?
It's a literal, like a
that she
like a sound bath bowl.
Okay. So she's supposed to. What about Xanax?
Again, I don't think that's enough. I think it's a combination treatment of Xanax and the bowl.
Wow.
Doing their work
Well, she has
together.
crazy eyes.
Oh, she's crazy everything.
She's so crazy. Like when she and Brandy pulled off to the side, you were troubled by the location that they chose at the party.
Well, it did look like a call center. It looked like a Marriott call center that they were having a party in the lobby.
And Leanne, like her friend is like, what's wrong with your marriage? Tell us. Everyone on these shows wants someone to tell them what their problems with their marriage. And then Leanne finally just goes, look, if you don't want me to be at peace, I get that. What?
The worst insult.
I get
that.
The worst insult you can say on any of these shows, and these people have accused each other of the worst, of cheating on each other and sucking dick, like just everything you can be accused of like just one of them fake cancer and the other one accused, like everything. But the worst, the thing that hits the home, like the heart of these women is if like, you're just jealous. Like that is where you
jealous.
Take, like they can't come back from that when you say you're just jealous.
You and your husband are living separate lives. That's really.
They also like to call each other trash, which I appreciate.
Me too.
But Danielle, like I do have a soft spot for Danielle. Danielle?
Deandra. I'm Danielle.
Carney.
That's Danielle.
Leanne, sorry.
Leanne. No,
Danielle.
it's okay. We have similarities.
Leanne.
I see.
No,
them.
Leanne.
We all do.
I do have a soft spot for Leanne because she is just like fancy, poor white trash, but fancy is her name. She really is trying to make something of herself in the social scene.
I've got Leanne in my blood. Like I know Leanne. Like I've got family members that are Leanne. Like I feel her. I really do.
And Carney, like the fact that that's rough.
And they don't make mention of her Carney past as much anymore.
No, I think she dropped it this season because she was all
like enough
Carney.
with the Carney.
Well,
and it's also like no surprise you didn't go to a prom.
Yeah.
I mean, she probably didn't go to high school.
No. I feel like her Carney days, like her prom night was like, like Red Dog, like brew, or like, just like drinking schnapps by the clown.
And I don't picture
by
her
the clown
work
tent
with like The Greatest Showman. This was like
this was like
The Greatest Showman.
I had to look away at several points during that.
Of The Greatest Showman.
Yeah.
My favorite part was when Hugh Jackman and Michelle Williams were dancing, but they were obviously animated, and they were dancing so fast that Michelle Williams' body got stretched out. If you've not seen the film, it's when they're dancing on the rooftops, and they're dancing so fast that you're like, how is that possible? You're like, oh, it's like a cartoon. And then like her body like wraps around a building, and you're like, what the fuck kind of movie is this? What's happening?
Oh my God. Okay, speaking of prom, at the end, Leanne gives one of the saddest
Please.
testimonials I've ever heard. When she said, the fact that I didn't win prom queen in high school and I'm being crowned now is proof that God is saying you're a good person, Leanne. You got it, girl.
It felt like the end of Carrie a little bit.
I know.
Where it was like, I'm just waiting for the pigs.
Carrie, if there was no one else at that prom. Just an empty lobby of a call center.
It was the Real Housewives parties, especially Dallas, are the emptiest.
What did you say?
I said I felt how cold the air conditioning was. Yes. When you're when you're at the beginning of a wedding and you're like the first one.
Yeah.
It's just colder for me, like when you're catering a wedding and like just like starting out and like it was.
No one's there.
No one's there, and it's just like they're just playing like, you know, some Spandau ballet, and it's just
Well, in
real
this,
tough.
you know, they were not playing music.
No.
Because they were
they
filming.
couldn't afford it.
And what a motley crew.
I know.
Not-
At one point, they did a cutaway to just like two gays standing on a dance floor, like kind of swaying. It was like, ugh.
They did some tough cutaways.
Oh,
with
some
this.
real tough cutaways.
There was a larger lad in like a bathing one piece.
I didn't know what the theme of
High
this
cut
party was.
one
They
piece.
said it was 80s, but there was
But no
so
one knew
many.
what the 80s
It was
were.
called like bow tie or tie.
Well, that was confusing because there's the no tie and then there was the bow tie, but no one was wearing a bow tie at the black tie.
Yeah.
It was no tie and black tie, or was it no tie and bow tie?
Black tie. Sorry, I said it wrong.
Okay.
It was black tie and no tie, but no one was wearing a black tie at the black tie.
No. It was, everyone was real cash.
Super like running errands.
Yeah,
cash.
like, I'm just going to pop over to Trader Joe's. Oh, I
Yeah.
guess I'll stop at this party.
Oh, I
stop
guess
in this
Leanne's
office
got
lobby.
that thing.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
I just had to
Leanne-
get this certified. Oh, what is this, a party?
Just going to see my notary. Oh.
Oh my God.
Also, the way, what's the chair's name? The honorary
Cameron.
co-chair.
Oh,
Cameron. The
Cameron.
ways that she was like so chipper about the fact that it was for an AIDS charity.
Oh, she was like, first of all, she was like, I know lots of people with AIDS. I was like, you have never
No.
met you've never touched
No.
another human being
That's
with
very-
AIDS. Come on.
Yeah.
Like you are.
She's like, I'm so happy to be here for AIDS. It's like, oh, Cameron.
Oh, Cameron, dial it down.
No. And then when
No.
Stephanie, you pointed this out about when Stephanie shared with us how she lost her virginity.
I said I like that she's surprised. No, I like that she thinks that we would be surprised that she lost her virginity on a floor.
She was like, y'all aren't going to believe this.
It was on a floor, you guys.
The floor of her closet.
That feels
Dark
just
days.
right. That feels right and tight.
It really did.
Now, another thing I want to talk about is the vaginal rejuvenation, as you pointed out, Andrew. That the
Why am I pointing this
I
out?
know, but thank God
I
we
didn't
had
even
you
think
here.
of it. I didn't think of it because Stephanie was saying, she's having trouble peeing, and so she's getting vaginal rejuvenation. And you pointed out,
Well, it's two different holes, and I don't think that tightening up your sex one is going to help your pee one.
No.
And maybe one of your listeners is a doctor or a nurse,
Doubtfully.
or someone who can Google,
Don't think we
but they can explain that to us.
dabble in
But it
that.
seems odd that you would do vaginal rejuvenations to help a urinary problem. Just come clean, girl.
yeah, come clean, and that vaginal rejuvenationist with those tattoos.
Oh, he looked like a UFC wrestler.
Yeah, but also like he had some work done
Oh, lots.
up top.
I love when people have like sleeves and then work done. You don't
Yeah.
see it a lot.
No,
But it's good.
It's a combo.
And then when they stole away to another exam room to have some gal time, the two of them were like, let's chit chat in an exam room. Andrew, you killed me. What you said.
I forget.
Andrew was like, yeah, sorry, some women are waiting for their cancer test results, but these two need to get together and rehash
You're
their...
like, Nancy, could you hold
Yeah.
10 while we go talk?
Debbie.
Kelly Martinson, can you just hang on for a second? Thank you.
Your cancer results are coming right quick.
Hold on.
Do you want to call a friend? Because I peaked.
I peek beneath the hood.
Yeah, but you're gonna be okay, girl. But we got to talk about our badges for a second.
Where are we in the seasons, by the way?
We're mid. I believe we're mid right now.
It feels like it's been a lifetime, though.
And now I hear that not much is happening in Orange County.
Hardly anything is
Not a
happening in Orange.
peep.
Not a fucking peep. I'm angry.
I will say
Are they
about.
just getting bored?
I don't know.
Sorry, I just interrupted
They
you.
need to recast.
The new people they've brought us have given us nothing. We have Gina, who is getting divorced for who knows what reason, who feels the need to wear blue eyeshadow, a terrible blue eyeshadow.
And a blue navy,
At
navy leather coat.
a casual event, wears a hat just to walk in a door. Like it wears a big, wide-brimmed Carmen Sandiego hat, as Joel Kim Booster pointed out, just to like for a lunch date.
And Emily, Vanessa Rare emailed me about Emily, and she
Ooh,
was
love to
very
hear what she says.
inspired by her no makeup look post workout. But that's
a
all
word.
I have to report. Like, she looked good. There was Ready Whip out on the counter. It
No,
was
that
strange.
bothered me. She had like 2 baskets of fruit. You know, like those kind of tiered fruit baskets that
Yeah.
wasps put in their kitchen. Jews don't do that.
We know.
Yeah, yeah.
We've seen 'em.
Jews love none of that. But in those fruit baskets, she had 2 cans of Ready Whip.
Okay, see, Emily reminds me, and I say this, I don't want
making
you to
Dole
think
Whip?
I'm body shaming, because I think
God.
Emily is very hot, and I
Yes.
think she actually has the best body on the show. I relate to her, though. She's like, it's like 20 seconds from stardom. She's like one bite away from just like obesity. Like, it's
20 fingers.
Is that what it is? She's literally like one bite and we're going to explode. Like her dress explodes off her body. And I'm the same. It's like we can't play. And that's why when she was doing like that workout and then literally the workout, the guy with the fucking dog running around and the trainer leaves and she's like, smoothies? Like, it was like, Emily, oh God. Oh God.
Oh, that was.
I just want her to keep an eye.
Yeah. Keep an eye.
Keep
It's
an
for
eye.
her health.
Oh God. I fucking hate when like the right wing has been coming out in the Daily Mail against like, beautiful plus size women and saying like, it's for your health. You need to stop. It's like, shut
Do you
the
know that
fuck
that's not
up.
true anymore? Like there have been medical studies that literally it has nothing to do. It's like you can work out and be healthy and it's fine. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter what your weight.
all
Like that's just some
genetics
sort of
anyway.
like right wing.
Hey, and guess what we all have in common? Death. It doesn't fucking matter.
Yeah, it's coming.
Yeah, my 5-year-old just figured
Coming
that out.
anyway.
It's coming. Your 5-year-old did?
Yeah, she's talked a lot about death lately. She's like waking
seems
up
like
in the middle
about-
of the night. And she's just like, am I going to die? I'm like,
That's like the right age, though, right?
I know. It's tough
Sorry.
to explain it.
I told my 3-year-old and David said it was way too early.
What'd you say? You're gonna die?
No, but there was like a bird that
You're
was
gonna die
dead.
tonight.
But there was like a bird that was dead. I told him about that. And then my dad told him the first, did I already tell you the story?
No.
The first second he saw him, my dad's cat died. And I told my dad, like, let's wait a minute because my Max loves this cat. My dad picks us up from the airport. He's like, when you get down on one knee to like open your arms for a child to run in? So my dad gets down on one knee. He goes, Nosey's dead. It's like shocked. Max was taken aback. He goes, I just wanted to tell him. He goes, I just needed to tell him. I was like,
Nosey's dead.
yeah, Nosey's dead.
Oh.
Wow. Apropos of nothing? Like didn't even.
No
just
warm-up?
Wanted to get him out, get it out there.
Didn't even let.
How'd your son react?
He was confused and horrified. And then later he's like, Nosey's dead. He's like, did Nosey's mama leave and mama die? And that's sadly his reference to my mom having passed.
Oh.
I know. It's very dark.
Well, that's what Sydney said to my husband tonight. My husband's mother had passed a while ago. And she goes, we were saying something like, he goes, oh, my mom used to tell me, you're going to, in college, you're going to have to like go to dinner parties or something. Cause she's like the Southern sort of like went to like a Southern university and something, had dinner parties like back then. And she's like, my mom used to always say that to me. And she's like, well, and my daughter goes, she can't say it anymore cause she's dead. I was like, Sydney.
Well, she's not wrong.
She's not wrong.
Literally was like, I just go to my daughter, that's rude. I didn't know what else to
She's
say.
not wrong.
She's not wrong. It is
wasn't,
rude,
but it was
it's
just
not wrong.
like-
Right. It's
She
rude.
was and she stretches
right.
out the word dead, like she goes, dead.
Look, she's trying some stuff out.
I know, she really is.
I mean, I think I'm sorry, you guys. I've turned into like my grandma. I'm like, have I told this? But when I went to see that baby psychic, and Max was in utero,
a baby who was a psychic?
Yes. It's also, I'm writing a screenplay.
It's called Baby Psychic.
baby psychic,
It's
Like,
babies.
on freeform. Next up on
on like
Freeform.
Sprite Network.
Sprite.
Diet Sprite.
Sprite Network. But this guy was in New Jersey. You call him, and he claims to have he's got a line to your baby inside you. He's a baby psychic. He's like, hello. He did say, he's like,
Don't
you got a
judge
boy.
us,
He
don't
goes,
judge.
you got a boy in there. I'm like, yeah. And then so I'm pregnant, and he's telling me all about
Part of me
Max's.
sounds like a fishmonger.
It was so strange. And I'm like, why am I doing this? But he's telling me things. He said, your son knows you're eating a lot of onion rings. Which I
Is that
had.
true?
So I was going to David like, oh my God, this guy knows. And so then I said, hey, where is the baby right now? And he's like, he's in the in-between. And I was like, oh, okay. And I said, well, is my mom out there? That's why we're here. Like, let me. And he goes, yeah. He goes, I go, do they, I mean, this is the wildest question. I was like, do they know each other? He goes, yeah, they know each other. He goes, but they're not close.
There's so many people around.
You got a lot of great people up here. You got Judy Garland.
Yeah.
Chatting
You
it
got
up.
them all. He goes, they're not close, and David was like, look, not everybody likes everybody. And that's the truth, and it was just an odd, unsettling to think that
Can I
my
ask
mom
how
in the
much it
in-between
was?
was like not barely talking to my son. That's her only shot at him.
But what form was your son like in the in-between?
He was like 7 months. I was 7 months pregnant
But
with
like
him.
he's in the in-between as a
Well, that's a
fully
debate.
grown
That's a
human?
debate for.
Like, what are we talking about?
We don't know when he gets to that in between.
Because like if I was your mom, I'd be like, what's that?
Right.
I'd be like,
That's assuming
I
that
don't
my
really-
mom is still like in a fully human form, like
yeah, but
wearing.
she'd be like, I don't want to talk to that thing. I can't
Yeah.
even talk back.
You're right. She might be like, I don't want to talk to that thing. You're
Like,
so
"Ugh,
right.
It's a baby.
So what am I gonna do with that? I don't take care of it.
She's
Yeah.
got other fish to fry.
We're
out
doing
there.
other shit up here.
Just
Yeah.
like there's tons of movies.
They
like,
know
"Oh,
each other, but we're not close.
I gotta appear in more butterflies so Casey thinks I'm really still with her. So dark.
Every time my dad died in 2001, and every time that like, this is so sad. Not sad, it's just gross. But like if we're like in the back, if I'm at home and there's like either a bird or like a bee or a fly or anything, like the ongoing joke is someone will go, Dad? It could be anything.
It's so funny.
Just any
but,
sort
like,
of living animal. Daddy?
I listened to that Goop podcast about like life and death, and she was like, "Yeah, they'll come to you as winged creatures." And so I have like planted flowers that attract butterflies, so it's like, well, is it her?
But you're drawing her to you. Could you?
Oh,
Danielle?
yeah. There you go.
Thanks.
I'm trying.
You're opening a door.
Yeah.
Creating a door. Forcing something through it.
Shutting it, locking it, not letting it.
No, I
back.
think that's nice though. That's not.
Thanks.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No.
Now speaking of shutting a door,
Are we gonna shut the door on the OC?
no, we're gonna. Who's been the door is shut to him in America is Joe Giudice.
Yes. Did
Juicy
you hear?
Joe has been deported. Teresa's
Yeah.
husband.
How do you say it?
We used to say Judice, but
Yeah.
then they corrected us. Teresa has corrected us, not us, but
Yeah.
America.
But it's Giudice.
Giudice.
I just realized Judice sounds like the way that like one of those Real Housewives from Dallas would be like, "You Judice, you stabbed me in the back at the funnel cake stand. You Judice."
Yeah, Judice. And
All right,
But
so
I also hear that way that
I was there with the smallest woman in the world, and
You were getting your dick sucked at the manhole. Wait, so Teresa Giudice's, he's been like...
he's been arrested for.
Yes, but he's not allowed in the country?
41 counts of
Well, no,
fraud.
once he gets out of jail, because he's in jail right now for 40-something months.
Yeah.
He's almost finished that sentence, and then he'll be escorted to the border.
escorted to Florence, where I'm sure he's going to be thrilled.
That's rough.
But I was also like, there are worse places you
Yeah.
could be.
But immediately they were like, Teresa and the family won't be going because they don't have friends in Europe. That's what it said in the news item. Like, they don't know anyone in Europe.
But Kim D spoke up
father.
immediately. Kim D from Posh Boutique, who's like an outlier, like she's like one of those, and
Rough
she was
and
like
tumble gal.
rough and
And under
tumble.
5 on...
Yeah, oh yeah, under 5. If she gets paid at all, I think she shows up for free.
Yeah.
Just comes out and is just, and she looks like a Dark Crystal character, like you've never seen. Like, she is rough. She is rode hard and put away wet.
Yeah.
Like she is just like, and so she's just awful.
Gnarled.
Just like she, how like, and like my grandma had like arthritic fingers. Like that's what her face looks like. Like it's rough and tough. And so she is just.
I hope this woman doesn't ever listen to
Oh,
this.
she's a monster. I can say it.
Assessment.
She might.
I think she would cop to it.
She might go to the middle place.
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
And so she said, Teresa's not going to visit him in Italy. She never even visited him in prison. That's what she said.
Wow.
You know, she had a microphone in front of her face immediately.
Yeah.
The minute this news came
Immediately.
out. Yeah.
Wow, that's something to possibly like watch Jersey over.
Yeah.
But I don't think the filming
Is that next?
November 7th, Jersey starts.
But that might not be. That wouldn't cover.
The
Exactly.
deportation.
That's my problem.
Yeah.
Andy Cohen will probably get a one-on-one going.
We can only hope. But back to OC, I will
Yes.
say that the only good character on the whole show right now is Jolie. And that is the daughter of Kelly. We got to see her go to a soup kitchen again, which made me cry.
I heard about this. Is this the girl who doesn't know how to mop?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. This guy, Phil L, tweeted me. I hate to admit it, but I'm with you, Casey and Danielle. They need to burn Real Housewives of Orange County to the ground. The most exciting housewife is teaching her daughter how to mop.
Well,
Hashtag they've got nothing. Hashtag RIP.
They do. Shannon, I've loved Shannon forever, and even she is coming off so unlikable and not in a good way.
I'm done with Shannon as well. Danielle.
She's nasty. She's not giving us anything. I can't stand her looks this season.
well, as I told you, I couldn't access this episode, but I was reading the Amazon reviews, and I just wanted to say that
Who the hell's leaving a review on Amazon for the
Judy
Housewives?
Burkhart is. Judy Burkhart, she gave it 4 stars, and she
Hey.
said, "I enjoyed the Bravo series."
I feel like that was like.
Well, I feel like
that
Judy
was
needs-
Jolie.
Nancy Johnson, also she gave it 3 stars, and she said, "I like the new ladies, but it won't be the same ever without Heather Dubrow." Dubrow?
Dubrow.
Dubrow.
And Heather obviously wrote that.
She was always the voice of reason and sanity.
Reason and Sanity. This bitch comes out recently. It was like during the midst of the Kavanaugh hearings, unveiling her champagne fridge. I am so done with this woman. Like, she has the worst timing on earth.
Well, Camille Grammer is dead to me.
Yeah.
Dead to me.
What did she do?
She had the nerve to be like, I don't know, show me the proof. And just going back, and I was like, Andy Cohen. Andy R. Cohen. I don't know your middle name.
Andrew?
Andrew Xavier.
Xavier Cohen Esquire. Get this
DDS.
bitch off the air. How dare she? How dare she?
I did find out in good news, Leanne is actually not a Trump supporter.
But I also found out that
Really?
she's never voted.
Twist.
Okay.
She's never voted.
So, good news, bad news there.
Good news, bad news, but I feel like we can get her to vote in the
She
midterm.
probably doesn't have a social security number. Let's be honest.
That girl that was born like in the forest. Did you read that book? Didn't you read that book? You were the one that told me. I feel like I read this book through you.
Which one?
That one girl who was like born in a cult and like born in the forest, and
Oh,
she never had
God.
like a social security number because she was like born in.
Oh, yes. I
Yes.
love that book.
Oh, sure. I have a friend who was dating a guy for a while who was a real conspiracy theorist, and he was saying that one day when they had a child, he would want the child to have 2 birth certificates, and the way you do this is that you go to one hospital and you get the birth certificate, and then you take that baby, you rush it to another hospital and say it was a home birth, and you get another birth certificate. So then you can have 2 in case you need to go underground. And I remember looking at my friend and being like, are you out of your fucking mind?
But if you're going underground, are people still accepting government
certificates?
documents?
I think our currency is like
I
teeth
know,
or something.
maybe dual citizenship.
Our currency is cheese.
when we're
my
there,
God.
like,
Yeah.
shit's gonna go down. Like I don't think birth certificate like a
It's
paper.
like when people are investing in like gold coins because that'll be more valuable than cash.
yeah.
What are we going to buy with gold?
I watched this one show that was called like it was
Doomsday
like,
preppers?
Yes.
Oh, love it.
I did watch it for a while, and people's like currency was like apples.
Yeah, basically.
But it was like all like
I think
applesauce.
cigarettes are going to be big.
bottled water, cigarettes. It's going to be like prison.
But it was like
Yeah.
applesauce. Ass is gonna be huge.
It really is.
Huge in the future.
Can we go back one quick
Sorry,
thing about
yes.
Dallas? Was just Brandy's face when she was drunk as hell.
Oh, God.
Oh my God.
I often wonder what I look like intoxicated. But anyway, like, you know, because usually if my friends are drunk, I am also drunk. So it's really interesting to see it captured so clearly. She was just barely like eyes crossed, slow blink,
and very still.
Like if I was teaching an acting class on drunkenness, I'd be like, just observe this woman.
I was thinking the same thing.
Just like teetering. And the way, like the slow blink is really important.
And Leanne was saying things to her, and instead of answering, Leanne would be like, well, I just don't know why you said that. And she'd go, you don't know why I said that? Like she was just repeating.
But she was
What do you want me to
almost
say?
a commedia dell'arte where she was like, you know how like in what's the Mary Poppins, like Bert is like kind of like makes a full circle with his body but like stays on his feet. You know what I'm talking about?
She was really teetering on those
sort of like
clogs.
when he's like saying like it's a jolly holiday.
Yeah, she was going.
Yeah, like that's kind of the move she was making, and I was kind of impressed by it.
It's impressive.
You saw something was going on with her hair, it seemed, in the back.
Well, I will just make a blanket statement that all of those women who hire whoever they hire to do their looks, and granted, she had been probably in the back of a Uber for a while, but her hair had separated. I think I saw a track. I definitely saw a lot of skull. And it just seemed like, help a girl out, just brush out the back of her hair.
You were saying
but then it's those ladies were like going to like the 80's parties, and they weren't, the back of their heads were just like bare. Ask one of those gay wads to comb that shit over, girl.
I know you're in Dallas.
I know.
Like, come on, give us some big hair.
Tease
like,
the back and the sides and the front.
Please.
Oh my God in heaven. I love the preview for next week when Deandra's like, Mommy, like, you know, Leanne said something really mean, and Dee's like, stop worrying about that. I don't give a dog's rip. Work on this business, you bitch. She hates her daughter so much. I don't give a dog's rip.
I love her. I love this old Southern, like Julia Sugar Breakers.
Right.
Danielle, should we take one quick break?
Sure. And now a quick update and announcement from our gorgeous friend and reporter at large, Deanna Chang.
Hi, Deanna Chang here. Casey and Danielle were kind enough to let me make a very quick announcement about the Heathers reboot. As you guys might remember, I was deeply concerned that we would be blown off the planet before my television debut, so I had reached out to a Mr. Dennis Rodman, and we did indeed avoid a nuclear war, which was great, but ultimately Heathers was pushed and then banned from the United States. Now, here's the nice thing. Much like Bethany and Jill's journey, Heathers has made a miraculous comeback. It will be airing on the Paramount Network on Thursday, October 25th for a 5-night binge. 2 eps a night till Halloween. Thank you, Lord. Please watch. Matt McConkey is a writer. Former guest Jason McAuliffe created the show. We all appreciate the bitch sesh support. Thank you, October 25th.
One more thing about OC, 2 more little things, which is, it was really sad when Gina was like, Matt and I take really good vacations together, and I lose that privilege to go on vacation if we separate. I was like, lose that privilege? What the fuck? She's like, we go someplace warm. I have all these bikinis, and everyone was like, you need to go someplace because you have those bikinis.
Yes.
You need to go somewhere. She's like, they were so expensive.
Another favorite moment of mine was Kelly explaining the history of Jamaica.
Yeah.
She's like, I go on vacation. She was just like reading like literally like an Encyclopedia Britannica fucking Jamaica.
Yeah. And then of course Shannon's got her Jamaica man. It's like her new top of the fucking morning when she was in Ireland. And then Kelly's already given in with, no, Gina said Jamaica me crazy. I know. Shane is so awful when he goes to toast his wife and she's like, toast, toast. And this piece of shit who I told you, it's Jack Spratt. He just starts to lift his glass and he goes, no, I'm going to take a sip first. And then just starts, he's so bad. He's so terrible.
Shannon not being able to take a compliment when someone's like, your hair looks good. She's like, this is because I didn't do it.
Yeah.
And then she's like, your skin looks good because I pulled it back with my ponytail. Like she's just like
awful.
It's just terrible.
And her hosting dinner, it's like she's hosting it first. She's like a grandma from the old world. Like everybody get to the table. Like she's so beleaguered. You know, she's always like, everybody's going to get cold. Everyone's just like, we're fucking over at your house trying to have a drink.
And she's making one of her diet foods, which is just like a lean cuisine. Just like, why am I watching this?
Very upsetting.
Take me back to Jolie's drama class. That's all I want. Last week
all
they
I
showed us
want.
like Jolie was like auditioning for a play, and she doesn't have the talent, but she has the will.
Oh
and,
no.
And
Which is always what we need more of.
always. That's what I have. I'm thrilled about it.
We
And-
really do.
Yeah, it was lovely. But
Did she do a scene?
no, it was just like kind of a dance number from Cats or something like that.
And a lot of like, wow stuff. Andrew, can we talk about your book? Are you open to that?
Yes, I'm very open to that.
Okay.
I've
Tell us
written a
the
book.
title.
It's called Too Much Is Not Enough,
Great
which
title.
is a lyric from Fame, the musical.
Oh, you don't have to tell us.
And it's a book of essays about the first sort of the first 7 years I lived in New York, a little bit about my time in Nebraska, but then from the time from 97 to 2004, when I first moved to New York to the time that I got my first Broadway show, which was Hairspray. I was in the chorus of Hairspray.
You were?
Yeah, I was. Because I feel like, and I'm sure you both get this too from a lot from young people about like, well, how do I do it? And what's the shortcut? And and as far as I was concerned, when I was 26 and I was cast in that show, like that was my goal, was to be on Broadway. I just wanted to be on Broadway, and I was in the chorus of the show, and I thought I had gone as far as I needed to go, was to be in the show.
100%.
Oh.
And I was like, what else would there
just
be?
wanted that jean jacket.
Right.
Like that,
I know.
you
They stopped doing show jackets when I was in that show. It was really a bummer.
Of all time.
I know. But I wanted to tell some of those stories about that period of time that was just sort of, I don't think those wins that are, and the Broadway thing was a big win, but there was other things that I include in this book about just like little things that keep you going. And I think that if you set out to like win an Oscar, or you set out to be Emma Stone, like if that's where your bar is, then you're fucked. So it's all of those little things that you get to that you get to experience, and you have these little successes that sort of keep you going. That's the type of stuff that I wanted to talk about, to celebrate, because it's not about winning a trophy or
And
anything like that.
are you someone that like if you have a win that's definitive, you can celebrate it and enjoy it?
Oh God, no.
Okay.
No,
Sorry,
no.
I thought that's what you were saying.
No, because always in those moments too, that like even like I've been lucky to get to go to the Tonys twice as a nominee, and like there's always so much extra stuff that's happening. The first time I went for the Book of Mormon, I was like with someone, my date was someone I had just broken up with. Like he had just broken up with me, but there was not enough time to like switch dates. So I was with a man who didn't love me, and I was like in the audience of the Tony Awards being like, this is my first time as a nominee. It's like all that shit that like you don't think about that also surrounds those moments for people.
I hate that, because this business and most people's lives, I'm sure, like there are sometimes you feel like few wins, and then when you get them and it's like clouded by something else, it's such a bummer.
But then, I mean, look, I will still say it was a magical night in my life, and I'm, was very.
I made my husband last night watch your Tony performance. I was like, you got to watch something. He's like, what? I'm like, you just have to watch Anne Rannells doing Book of Mormon at the Tonys. I was like, you have to watch it. And he was like, because I watched it. And so he was like, he's great, Danielle.
That's great.
And then today he was like, do you have on makeup? I was like, yeah. It's like, what are you doing? Like, don't you worry.
You look great.
My
Thank
husband
you.
said that he's like, the only thing it seems like stopping our marriage and family from breaking up, the only thing standing in the way seems to be Andrew's sexuality. I was like, because I don't know where we'd be. I was like,
Well, we do have a lot of natural heat between
We do
us.
have a
And
lot
Black
of
Monday.
We are working together on Black Monday and playing lovers.
palpable heat. A
We
lot of
just
heat.
did a little bit of a sex scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think we've done two. No, one.
Yeah, and then like some preamble.
Heavy petting.
Heavy petting, yeah. Okay, so wait, I want to hear more about the book.
Yes.
And
All right.
do you get into dating and things like that, or is it
Yes,
more?
I get into dating. I get into sort of how I, was like making friends in New York. I mean, we were all there around the same
Yeah.
time. So it was a kind of it was a weird time to be in, not a weird time to be in New York, but like when you think about like I didn't have a cell phone when I moved there. I had a service.
Me too. When my husband and I first started dating, when I got to New York, we've been dating a really long time. He had to call. I could put a quarter in a
Yes.
payphone, and then if it didn't have a message, the quarter would
Yeah,
come back.
exactly.
But then there was this rumor that hypodermic needles were being stuck at the bottom.
You
Yeah.
shouldn't go in for the quarter.
I remember that.
So
yes,
bad.
it was
And
a-
you also like, getting your face anywhere near the receiver of one of those phones was also very disturbing. So it's just about sort of like how you sort of make your way in the city. And I was coming from Nebraska, which was a very different place, obviously.
How did you make that jump from Nebraska to New York? Is so big. Like, that's a huge
college. I mean, I went to Marymount Manhattan, and that was like sort of the easiest safety net to sort of, I was like, well, I'll go under the cover of college.
Yeah.
Because
Like
at least
roll
it gives
out
me
from college into the city.
But there was like other, I had friends who were at NYU that I was so jealous of because there was like beautiful dorms and structure. And at Marymount, there's nothing wrong with the program, but like I was initially in a dorm on 57th and Lexington. The school was on 71st between 2nd and 3rd. So that's not a huge difference. But then that building was partially condemned by the city. And I was moved to Brooklyn Heights, which was great because it's a cool neighborhood, but then involved like a 45-minute to an hour-long commute to college every day. And it was a good way to get to know the city, obviously, but
it wasn't
the same thing as having like a campus and a quad and like, where's Felicity? None of that was there.
Well, even I was always running so late. I lived in Union Square. I would, guys, take a cab every single day to Lafayette, to the Public Theater.
Are
it was
you
like,
serious?
guys, yes.
Casey.
I'm the laziest person. I was always like, I can't get in the subway. I had like no money.
It's one stop.
It's one stop. It's
Literally,
even to walk.
it's a jaunt. It's literally like if I'm like, it's faster probably to walk.
I was like, gotta get a cab. There's no other option for me right now.
When I was at NYU, there were, for some reason, the school that I was at NYU wasn't part of the regular school. So we would have to go down to this condemned building on Great Jones Street and wear our jackets during class. It was so fucking cold.
Oh my God.
So like they didn't.
What school were you in? What
I was
program?
in Circle in the Square.
Oh, okay.
And
Nice.
then classical. Been using that.
Used
using those great works.
You used that today during that song. And can I just ask, Andrew,
Yes.
I'd so love to hear like how you got Book of Mormon and how were you excited?
Yes, I mean,
Oh, yeah. Yeah, it was, I had been doing, I really focused like the year before that on just doing new stuff because I had been a replacement in Hairspray and I'd been a replacement in Jersey Boys. And I was really trying to I wanted to open be in the opening of a show on Broadway. So I had gone out of town with Lysistrata Jones, which is that show, so the basketball musical.
It all comes back to that.
A musical
Seems
version.
like that should have been your book title.
Right? Lysistrata Jones. A musical version of Little Miss Sunshine that James Lapine and Bill Finn wrote, which was really great. That was really cool. And then I auditioned for the Book of Mormon, and nobody knew what it was. Nobody knew what it was going to be. But I did it, and I did like the workshop of it, and then it became very clear that like that was going to be something very special. But it was kind of, as auditions go, it was pretty quick. I auditioned like once for the director. At the time was this really talented guy named Jason Moore, who now directs a lot of features, and but he was also a Broadway director.
I love Jason
so Jason
Moore.
Moore,
He's a great guy.
the best. He's so nice. But he was directing it at the time, so I auditioned for him. I went back and auditioned for Trey and Matt, and then they flew me to LA to read with Josh Gad. And then,
did you know Josh Gad?
I didn't know him at all. But the whole thing happened in like a week, and then it was just done, which is great because like sometimes like the shittiest jobs, like no offense to Lysistrata Jones, but that they dragged that out for like 6 weeks. Like it was like,
Yeah, and you're like, meanwhile, I can't work
callback
on
and
anything.
nonsense, and you're like, what the fuck am I doing? And this one just felt so they just knew what they wanted.
And how did
Yeah.
how did Girls come about?
Girls came about because of the Book of Mormon, because Lena Dunham and Jenny Connor were at the opening night of Girls, and they had this part it was one episode in Girls to be Elijah Krantz, who was supposed to be an overweight, like bearded yoga instructor. And they were like, let's bring this guy in.
I like that you said overweight. We were all like, oh, because you have such a good physique.
Just in like type wise.
Yes.
Yes,
Like I was
you're-
not. So when I went into the audition, because they didn't offer it.
They didn't
to me.
just offer that to
No,
you?
I went and read for it. But the other guys at the audition were like guys who were like sort of bigger and had beards, and I was like, and man buns, and I was like, well, this is not my job because I'm playing a Mormon right now. Like this is not going to work. But I went in and read, and Lena and I just like fucked around a lot and improvised a lot. And then
You guys were such a great couple together.
Thank you.
I
Thank
loved
you.
it so much. That
I wanted
relationship.
more of you on the show. I mean,
Yeah.
we got into some stuff with you,
Yeah.
but I could have seen you. I'm not just saying this because you're here. I could have seen you every episode.
Yeah.
Well, that's very nice.
And I just love. She makes me laugh so hard.
She's very funny.
and I just love you guys together.
Thank you. Well, I had a good time doing it. But that all came from the Book of Mormon. Which is crazy.
And do you get in? So you do you wait? Sorry.
I don't
do
even
you
get
in?
into
You don't
the
even
Book
get
of
into
Mormon.
that stuff.
No, that was all just for free.
Really?
What I just said.
Wow.
Wow. You heard it
No,
here
the
first.
book really
Wow.
does stop. It stops the night of my Broadway debut in Hairspray.
Sequel alert.
Well, I guess I don't know, but I just again, it was just important to me to like talk about those stories that are
They're
because at
so
the time,
meaningful to you to be like, oh, this is maybe like small building steps. Anything you can latch onto, like
yeah. And at the time, I didn't think it was not like this is a. I just was so happy to be on Broadway that I was like, this is what I want to be doing, and this was my goal.
And
always.
is this podcast what you always wanted to
Yeah.
be doing?
Yes.
Is this the pinnacle? Is this
It's
where
weird.
the next book ends?
I was going through journals.
I drove up to Gacy's dark house in that long
I parked
weird
on
driveway.
the street.
Wow.
There's probably a coyote in my
Yeah,
car.
there
right
is.
now.
There, you'll be crossing paths with one, believe you me.
There's a
Do I need like an air horn or
There's
something to
just
get
make
to my
make
car?
a loud sound or make yourself big like I do.
there's a little gentleman out there that's routinely running around.
Oh yeah, I'm always. One time I climbed the fence.
I've seen like seven of them. He's literally always out by my hot tub looking at me like, hey.
Is it a coyote?
Yeah. But then sometimes there's a
Okay.
pack of them and they truly look like they're smoking cigarettes. Like, all right, we'll go. But like they're upset.
I had a house here with my ex in Hollywood, and there were possums
That
that would just like hang out in the driveway sometimes. And we weren't like in the hills. We were just like in the flats by Motza and Motza adjacent is
that,
what we
like,
called it.
Jiffy Lube across
Yeah,
the street.
by that Valvoline.
Oh, those guys work. Those guys work at that, Jimmy.
But they were just
possums
like
were
possums,
there.
like would just like sit in the driveway, and I would like have to like honk. They were afraid of nothing.
No, I
Nothing in
have,
no way.
I have a deer in my backyard.
Ooh, that's
Yeah, he's beautiful, but
though.
he's terrifying. He's big, and he's got like these huge.
Where do
ass
you
antlers.
live?
I live just in the come to the valley, guys, where you can get your
Deer's
lice
covered with lice.
That's
Yeah,
where you get
lice.
your lice. And you
Ugh, now I'm itching again.
I want to iterate, guys. The babies. I kept them in the house for 10 days. We
I know, and we are in that house.
Okay, great point. But I got it deep cleaned.
and all your wallpaper is flocked. No, I'm just
Guys,
joking.
we're all okay.
Wait, I have one more question.
Yeah.
So just to make it from Broadway, and then when you started to do movies and TV, like was that the goal, or it was kind of like, oh, just
I never really thought about doing television because I didn't even know how I would even get into that. So theater seemed, I grew up doing theater. I mean, I grew up doing like TV commercials, like local shit, but like that just didn't seem like a thing I knew how to do. And I knew I didn't want to move to Los Angeles because I wanted to do musical theater. So that just seemed like a better goal for me. And there were certainly examples of people who had done it. So I knew it was possible. Like, you know, Kristen Chenoweth had done it very successfully. And
Adina Menzel played that girl's mom on Glee.
True. That's good. That's true. But there were some examples of people who had done it, so I knew it was
Those
possible.
are the big examples.
Well, those are the big
that's
ones.
the only two. The
And
only two.
That's it. So I didn't really think about it too much as a possibility. So then when it started to happen, I remember being very nervous because I had never spoken lines on camera before when I was doing that first episode of Girls. Like I had never spoken on TV before. So I was like terrified.
Yeah.
So TV wasn't exactly what you thought you were going to be.
No, it really wasn't.
I have to tell what we're doing.
Guys,
The audio, of course, has, it's hard to say what's happened. We've had battery issues. We've had card issues, whatever that
I think
is.
it's my fault.
now all three of us are talking into three disparate.
Three separate cell phones in our voice memos. And our lovely engineer, Lyra, has convinced us that now we'll be on three separate tracks. So we're all just talking on our phones.
It'll be fine.
We don't even have to be in the same room, really.
That's true. But we did it. I think it's going to work. Oh, like this? I can't just, do I have to hear myself?
To hold them like we're really talking
we
on
have
the
to hold
phone.
them
I can't do it like this? Can I do that?
sounds best if you, the
Oh.
way the mic is designed, it sounds best if you just hold it like that.
Oh.
Fun tutorial. Now this looks like we're at a dysfunctional dinner.
So guys, just picture us all three on our phones, like up to our ears, like we're talking on our phones.
You know, guys, we'll wrap things up. But
We'll wrap things up. I
Andrew,
suppose. Thank you so much for having me.
thank you so much. When does your book come out?
It comes out March 12th.
Can we get pre-copies?
I can get you free copies.
Danielle.
Not
And
pre.
No, it's true. And if you go
Not
to
pre.
if you go to
you meant
my
free.
Instagram page, there is Random House. The publisher is doing a little sweepstakes for galley copies, so people can. Not that anybody will want this, but you can enter
will.
a sweepstakes and then get a galley copy, which is. If you're interested in that. But the book will be out March 12th. And it's available for pre-sale on Amazon.
You really love Amazon.
will not have your OC.
Yeah, but they will have my book.
But they'll have your book.
Oh,
That's so
I
exciting.
cannot wait. Tell us the title again.
Too much is not enough.
Too much is not enough.
You can also catch Casey and I
Yes.
in Black Monday.
Starring
January 20th.
January 20th on Showtime, starring
On
Don
Showtime.
Cheadle,
Yeah.
Regina Hall.
Paul Shear.
Andrew Rannells.
That's it. No.
that is it, basically.
No, there's some really fun surprises of people who are, guest starring and some really good, some good folks. You have great
Sidebar,
parents.
so excited that I'm working with Regina Hall of Girls Trip.
Oh,
The lead in Girls Trip, she's beyond.
so hilarious.
Gorgeous too. I can't take my eyes off her.
I know.
Oh.
I feel like I'm literally like on the phone.
This is
guys.
truly wild. We will wrap things up. Andrew, despite not being like an ardent Housewives
How'd I
fan,
do?
you gave us such amazing insights.
Really?
Leave us with your last comments about Stephanie and Brandy's friendship and what they say about each other, which is like, they're like, you said that every day they're like, she's so outrageous.
That's how I picture them. Well, because I feel like that was very much in the first season of setting them as like, she's literally the funniest person I've ever met. And then like she does something crazy and you're like, that's like the dumbest joke I've ever. The bar is so low.
I know, and then you said someone will be like, okay, most of us are just thinking it, but she'll
say it. No, that's the thing
She'll say
about
it.
Brandy. She's outrageous.
It's just outrageous.
This one time, she put 2 straws in her nose at the Sonic and was like, I'm a walrus. And we were like, oh my God. And she did it in front of the waiter.
She just didn't care. She doesn't
She
give a
gives
flip.
2 facts.
So then one time Stephanie will be like, sometimes I get depressed.
Yeah.
And then it'll be a
then
second.
she also
She's
makes
like,
it
I'm okay.
She makes tiny cuts on her thighs, but it's, sorry. Let's Jane,
Jane,
let's go.
Oh my God. Andrew Rannells, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank
a
you for
dream.
having me.
Dream for having you here.
Thanks for singing with us.
And thanks for
Thank
being
you
on this phone call.
Thank you. On this 3-way.
It's been a great
This
in-person
three-way
phone call.
Yeah.
Really great. Thank you.
Enjoy
Thanks.
editing this loose. Bye. Thank you, Andrew.
Thank you.
This is a little PS to all our listeners. Due to some technical difficulties, we were not able to discuss 90 Day Fiancé or Shaw's. I am completely caught up on Shaw's and wanting to talk at length about the Shaw's, but mainly wondering, why isn't there more Tommy? Thank you guys so much for listening. A little reminder, our Halloween show at Largo. Tickets are on sale with special guests Vanessa Bayer and Brian Safi. Very exciting. And we're going to do also a holiday spectacular musical Christmas carols sing-along in December at Largo. All of this very fun. If you are coming to the Halloween costume, please come in costume. Andy Cohen cosplay, as Danielle says. Thanks, everybody. Thanks, Andrew Rannells. Thanks, Lyra. Thanks, Luce. Thanks, July. Thanks, Earwolf. And thank you, Danielle. Bye.